Hey everyone! How's everyone doing today? I am doing well. So we're on our last leg of the house. We're going to be doing the roof. So let me just show you the templates that you're going to need to cut out of chipboard. You have your roof base, you'll need one of those. You have your end cap gables, you'll need two of those. You have your actual steeple or roof itself, you'll need two of those. And if you want a chimney, it's optional. You'll need to cut your chimney out as well. And you will need, if you want doghouse gables, you will need to cut out two of those as well from chipboard. This is the top to the chimney. If you want a door frame, here is your door frame. If you want the bay window, here's the bay window. And another option that I've not shown is the front window frame if you feel like your front windows need a frame on them. So this is it to cut out. But I do not have a mat for this, just to be forewarned about that. So, but I think I will do it on this house, and just we'll see how that goes. And then the rest of this is your mats. So you will cut them out. You can print them and cut them out with your pattern paper. Again, I made it where you could print them if you wanted to. So that's why there's two roof mats here in case you wanted to use your pattern paper and print them out that way. So here's the bay window, the edge, and the roof mats, the door frame and door mat, and again here's the roof mat. And oops. Then we have our gable mats for your end gable mats. There's two of those. You have your chimney top mats, and these are your doghouse gable hinges, and these are your chimney hinges. So you would print these out of your cardstock, you know, with whatever will match your chipboard. And here is your end cap gable hinges, all of these, and then here's your roof hinge. Okay, so with that said, let us get started. I think so that this video will not be too time consuming, I'm not going to really show me cutting out the roof itself, tracing and cutting out on chipboard. I feel like I've done that enough in the platform house or in the platform part and in the house part. So, you know, you basically are going to trace these on your chipboard and cut them out with a utility knife. Okay, so I will come back on when I have all of this cut out with my chipboard. And then I will show you how we put the roof together. It's not complicated, it's just some of the steps may seem a little odd. But it's only because I've found that that would be the best way to actually do the steps because of the way we have to put the roof together. But I do detail it in the guidebook, so we're good. All right, so I'll get back with you once I get all of this stuff cut out. Okay, I just wanted to show you real quickly how I did my one page so far. So I've got my roof base already traced out. I did my gables twice. Here's one, and then there's one here. I'm not sure if you're able to see my pencil marks. And then here is the chimney, and here's the bay window roof already traced. Here's my door frame traced, and my bay window. And I do want to point out that it has several score lines that you need to make sure that you do on the bay window. Okay, so there's several. And then I have the window over here. So I already have one traced out, and then I have that one on top. So this one is ready to be cut out. They're not in this order in the pages, so I just wanted to point that out, how you can, you know, try to get a lot of things on one piece of chipboard. Okay, and then I'll show you this. I've already traced out one roof up here, and then so I have the other roof here, and then here's the chimney. And again, there's a lot of score lines that you need to make sure that you're scoring on the chimney. Okay. Okay, and so now I'm doing the doghouse gables, and I've already got one here, and so now I'm putting the other here. And of course this is a piece of scrap paper from putting the other pieces together. But I do want to show you that there are 2 score lines here that you will need to do. One on one side and then one on the other. And that one will be ready to be cut out. So let me cut out all of these and then we'll be ready to go. I just wanted to show, I'm on the top of the chimney top, and I just want to reiterate that you score these lines here. Okay, and then you know, cut out the sides. So you cut that part off, but you score these lines. Okay, so I've got it cut out, because what you're going to do is, when you fold it down like this, and I've already got the chimney cut out, then of course it will be all taped, but this will fit down inside the chimney. So I don't know if I had told you where to score that, so I just wanted to make sure you knew to score those lines, and on the chimney to score these lines here. I started to cut out the window frames, but I don't think I'm going to use them. I just put them in there in case you wanted it to have a window frame onto your door, like a door frame in the front of the house, or even on the other windows. So that I added that in for you. I started to cut it out, but I don't know. I may end up using it. I'm not sure, but for right now, I'm just going to put it to the side. So we are now ready to begin our construction of the roof and then to finish up the house. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to put the door and door frame, the window, the bay window, the roof to the bay window, the chimney and the top of the chimney. I'm going to set, I'm going to set all this aside because this is the very last thing that I added to the house. Of course, you know, well, you can't do the chimney until the roof is done, but if you want to go ahead and put the bay window and door on, then feel free to go ahead, but I waited till the very end to do this part. So, and that is how I wrote it up in the guidebook. So, with that said, let us get started on constructing the roof. Okay, I will say that you need to go ahead and print out what you're going to mat with, and you need to print out your hinges. I forgot to mention that, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to print out what I need to print out, and then I will be back. You're going to end up, when you're matting, there are some mats and then 2 items, well 3 altogether, are going to be wrapped. Or, you know, you'll just lay them like this. And one is the roof base, and the other 2 are the doghouse. So, just to let you be aware of that you're going to have 3 items altogether that you're going to wrap, and it's not a mat that I made for it. Because I felt it was better to wrap them than to do a mat on them. So that's just a FYI before we move any further. So now I'm just trying to figure out what, I think I want this to be my roof base with little turkeys. I think that is so cute. And this is a 12 by 12, and again, this was from the Paper Studio, so Hobby Lobby, all 4 seasons. And I might make these my dog ears, my gables too, for my dog ear gables. So yeah, I think So roof bottom, dog-eared gables. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do on that one. And then, oh, and the chimney, I do believe that there is you wrap your chimney as well. So the chimney is wrapped too. So what's good about that is whatever we have as far as leftover pieces like this. Well, maybe not this one because of the writing, but you have leftovers if you've cut your 12 by 12 to 8.5 by 11. So you should have some leftover that you can use for your chimney. So you'll wrap your chimney as well. But right now we're just worrying about the roof. So I'm going to decide what ones I'm going to use, and I will be back. Okay, I just wanted to show that I'm not crazy about what paper I have left, so instead of printing it out like I did with the other house, I'm going to go ahead and just trace, and this is the reason why I highly suggest you make templates even of the matting. Because you never know, like in my situation where I have limited paper because I'm not crazy about what is left. So I'm going to be using scraps and things like that. So I just wanted to show you. So right now I'm making the roof mats. And again, the way that I made these is they have different widths so that you can determine how much of a mat you want. Because I know, like I've said before, some people like, pretty big mats. Some people, they want a smaller area. So, and now this one is ready just for me to take it to, and I'm using this for the roof. I thought that was cute. And then I also have room on this paper to, I think I'm going to do the door frame in it, not the door itself, but the door frame. I think that will look cute. So I'm going to just go ahead and line this up on my edges here and do the door frame itself. I really should use my ruler, shouldn't I, y'all? Okay, so now I just need to cut the frame out. And then I think I'm also going to do the roof. Not the bay window roof in this as well. So I'm just going to line this up. Oh, my finger got in the way right then. Don't you just love that? Luckily I got an eraser. Okay. And then I'll use my roof. Okay. All right. So I've got my door frame, my door frame mat, my mat to the bay window roof, and my actual mats to my roof itself. Okay. Oh, but don't think I want that to go like that, because then it's gonna be going up and down like that. And so I don't know, that might look okay, because it's gonna be like that instead of it being long ways. I think I'm okay with that. I think that'll look okay. I think I'm okay with that. All right, so now all I have to do is figure out what I'm going to use for the bay window itself and the door. And again, I don't know what I'm going to use on that. I do have this left over, and I'm going to use that. You wrap, like I said before, you wrap your chimney. So I'm going to definitely use this to wrap the chimney. I think that is cute. But I'm wondering, I think I'm going to try to do the door in that. I think that would look kind of cool. Have the door look like that. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure the door will be able to be done. And then I just need the bay window. Alright, so the door is going to be in this as well. So I'm just going to leave that on there because that, like I said, that's more of the end part of the project. Now I just need the bay window, so let me think on that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, the mats out, just to have them ready. Okay, and with the bay window, I decided to go with another piece of paper that I had already bought several months ago. So again, I'm using my template, and oops, I'm just going to trace it. Then I need to make sure that I put my score lines in, because you do need to score it. And then I will cut this out, and this is my mat for my bay window. So as you see, sometimes you might need the templates to do them by hand. So that's why I really highly suggest that you make yourself some templates even for the mats. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out everything that I need to cut out. I'm also going to ink, like I've already cut out the house. I mean, not the house, my goodness. The roof to the bay window, and the mat to it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just ink everything. And I'm using archival potting soil because I like the darkness of this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out all my mats and ink them, so I am ready just to put it together and then mat it, and then we will be done with this beautiful house. So I will be back when I get all of that accomplished. I also want to show that I am inking the chipboard as well. Like these are the end cap gables, so I'm going to ink those so that when I mat it will just look a little better, so you don't see the raw edges. That is also your preference, whatever you want to do. You don't have to do this step, but see, when you mat it, it just looks a little better, in my opinion. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, that I'm also inking the end cap gables and the roof itself, or the steeples, slats, whatever you want to call this. Because the roof base and the doghouse gables are going to be wrapped, so you don't have to do that on those. Like the chimney will be wrapped. So anything that is going to have a mat on it, like the bay window itself, the bay window I'm probably gonna ink that as well. And the door frame and the door too. So I'm inking those. Okay, so let us begin. And I'm gonna kind of go along with my guide so you can understand what I'm talking about. Since this is the most complicated, in my opinion, this is the most complicated part of the house making is getting this together. So the first step says using the roof hinge on page 9, attach the roof pieces together using the score tape. Okay, so here are my roof pieces, right? And then I've already got my hinges cut out. Right. I just don't want to get them mixed up. And okay, so it is the long one. Now, on my printer, every printer is different, and on my printer, the printer didn't print out the end, but that's okay because you don't really need to see that. So I'm going to go ahead, but before I cut that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score it. We need to score our hinge. So let me get, here it is. So I'm just going to score it. And again, these are 1 inch wide with a 1/2 inch score. So if you don't want to use my template, that is totally fine. So I let you know that in the guide, but these, all the hinges, every hinge is 1 inch wide with a 1/2 inch score, just in case you want to make your own. Okay, so we're good with that. And now I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the ends. And again, you're not going to really see this hinge. We're doing it on the inside, like so. Okay, and again, this is still a little long, so I just need to cut it a little more. No biggie. Yours might print out perfectly, still a little long. It just depends on how your printer prints it out. Still just a tad bit long, just a little. I'm only taking off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to take off too much. There we go, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to take my score tape and I'm just going to put it on the hinge. Okay, so we're good there. A tiny bit right there. All right. And so now we're going to take the backing off of one. I don't know where my little tool went. And I'm going to use the old glue trick because I want to be able to have wiggle room on it just in case, you know. So there we go. Actually, oh man, before we did that, well, before you do this, you may want to go ahead and use the one that you cut out before you put the tape and everything on it. If you want to put an edge on the top of the house after you mat it, you may want to go ahead and do that matting first. I forgot to do that, but again, it's no big deal because I know it's 1 inch wide. So I'm just going to make sure these are butt together. Okay. So we have accomplished step 1. I have lost a lot of my tools. Okay, so I'm just going to use a bone folder. Okay, and so here is our roof. That is our roof. And what I'm talking about is after we mat it, so here's our mat, right? I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to put it over like that, but just have it an inch. I'll show you that though when we get to that point. Okay, so now, so step 1 is done. Step 2 says using the smaller end cap hinges on page 9, attach the end cap gables to the roof. Okay, so this is where it gets just a tad bit tricky. Okay, so on page 9 you have 4 smaller ones and then you have 2 larger ones, right? So we're going to be using the 4 smaller ones, but we need to score them before we go any further. So I'm just going to cut these off just to make it easier to score. Okay, so I'm going to score these. Okay, so let's see, let's get our end caps. Here they are. So these are the end cap gables that I am speaking of. And they go like this. Okay? So they go in the house like so. So what we do is we cut off our edges now that we've cut off like this, right? And we're putting them on just like so with score tape. So let me cut off the ends here. Okay, and so now I'm going to add the hinges to the smaller sides of the gable. Okay. And if you've gone over, see like how that's gone over, no big deal. You can just snip that off. Make sure this one looks good. It does. Okay, so now what we want to do is, I've made it where you can decide where you want your end gables. If you want them directly on the edge like this, that is totally up to you. If you want them in a little bit, that is totally up to you. I am doing it about 1/4 of an inch in the gable because I do want it to have, I don't want it flushed, so I want it to be, let me try to zoom that in. So I want at least 1/4 of an inch, about 1/4 of an inch in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the backing off. put a little glue for sure so that I can get it exactly where I want it. Right? Okay. Now I'm just gonna push that down. Take off the backing. Nope. Let's do the other side first, because it will be difficult to do it if we do it like that. So, oh, did I take the wrong backing off? Probably. No. Yes, I did. Of course I did. I wasn't thinking. I'll try to put that backing back on. Okay, I want to take this backing off here. Off of these. Flip it over. Just make sure that we're straight. Straight. And then, so now we have our roof. Okay? Part of it anyway. Alright. So now what we want to do is, so we've done step 2. Step 3 is to attach the longer end gables, which are these guys. We're going to attach them, but we're not going to take the backing off. Okay, so I'm going to cut them down a little bit so I can score them. And then let me show you. Okay, so here is our bottom of the roof, and it goes on very last because you attach it like so. Okay, so these hinges will go on the inside like this. I might need to cut this one down. Looks like I will. But they go in like this, and then it will attach to the bottom like so. Okay? Alright, and so now we can mat our roof. So step 4 step 4 says to go ahead and mount our roof. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and now if you want, and this is optional, you can attach another roof hinge onto that. And this is why, again, I highly suggest that you cut out templates, because I have a template already for the roof hinge right here. So I'm just going to trace it out because So now we have it where you don't see the edge. So I really like that. Okay, so that was step 5, which is optional. Okay, so now we move on to step 6, which says wrap the doghouse gables with pattern paper or cardstock, making sure to carefully bend the doghouse gable once wrapped with paper so it will not tear. And I recommend inking the edges, of course. So I'm using the turkey as my gables, doghouse gables, and that's what these are. And again, this is optional. If you don't want these on your house, you don't have to do it. Make sure though when you're wrapping, the bent part goes onto the paper. Not like this, but like this, okay? And again, I found that this was the easiest way to do this because you are bending the paper, okay? So what I do is I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac on the chipboard itself. Okay, like so. Get it good and down. And then I will carefully put it up on the edge of the paper. Like so. Okay. Alright, and I'm gonna make sure that it is good and smushed down. Okay. Right. And then I'm gonna get my craft knife and I'm just gonna cut this out. Now I have that song stuck in my head. I don't know why I even thought of that song. Okay, come on. What is going on with you? Might need a new blade. I'll just put this blade on over there. And it could be from the glue too. The glue kind of seeped out a little bit. Sometimes it does that. Okay, so as you can see, it is like that. And so, oh no, I put it on upside down. Ruh-roh. Oh well. And what I was talking about is be gentle when you're bending because, and this is the great thing about Fabri-Tac, is it's still a little movable, and so when you do that, it's not gonna hurt the paper. Okay, and then I will ink the sides and edges like so, and there is our doghouse, one of them anyway. And I'm really bummed that I put that on upside down. Darn it. Oh well, there's not much I could do about it now because it goes. Oh no, I didn't. Yay, I did that right. Yay, me, I did it right. Okay. Alright. So there's one. So let's do the other. I hope I didn't do that upside down. I did not. Good me. Yay me. Okay, so I have that done. Okay, so using the doghouse gable hinges on page 8, attach the doghouse gable to the roof. You will notice that there are longer cuts for these hinges on one end. Those should go along the edge of the gable. You may need to trim the hinges if they are showing from the front side. Okay, so let me show you what that all means. So, I left them over here. Alright, so I've already cut out my doghouse gable hinges, so here they are, and I'm going to actually trim them down a little bit more. But this is what I'm talking about. There's longer sides here, and I will show you what I mean by my comments. I'm just going to cut the edges off. Score tape on everything. But because we have an angle here, this is why they are cut this way, because then oh wait, it goes this way. My bad. Because you go down like this and it's like that because of this angle right here. So let's go ahead and put score tape on everything. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put, because it goes like this, so we're going to put these guys on the bottom like so. Okay. And again, it's not a perfect match. So that's why I said if you have any showing to just trim it off once you get these on here. So but let's go ahead and put these down. Again, I'm using glue. I'm using that old glue stick trick. Okay, that one is way off. Wow. Wow. Oh, that's right there. Okay, so see, that is way off. So I'm just going to cut it. I mean, you can use your craft knife if you want, but you can also just use a pair of scissors. Okay. Like so. Okay. Now, you will see this part of your hinge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it because I want it to look pretty. Because you will see it. There's no way around that. Unless you want to mat it. Which I didn't mind the way it looked actually. I thought it kind of looked more like a roof. So, but I am going to ink it because I think that would look better inked. So it does go like so. Okay. Now, and if you wanted to, which I did not do, and I just thought of it actually, as I was looking at that. I mean, not that you will really see it, but this is not going to be matted either. I'm wondering if we should mat that. Huh. should we, guys? You know what? It's not in the instructions, but that's up to you. Because on the one I did, of course, it was black, and I didn't mind the way that looked. And again, you're really not going to see up in there for it to matter to you. So that is your preference, whatever you want to do, if you want to mat it or not. I think I'm going to just leave it. I don't think I'm going to mat it. But that's an option. If you want to mat it, you can. But I don't think I'm going to. So I'm just going to leave it like that. But again, it's up to you. Alright. And this one, we do the same thing. Okay, and again, that's showing a little bit. I don't like that. All right, so there we go. And again, I'm going to just ink this. Okay. If you wanted to mat it, I don't think I'm going to mat it. Okay, so there we've got the doghouse gables done. Alright, so now we need to attach. And again, this is the reason why we do it the way that we're doing this, because you can make sure you're holding it and all of that good stuff. Put it where you want it to go. Whoa. Make your gables as wide, as narrow as you want, right? And place them where you want them. Wow. Okay. What happened there? Alright. I think I'm going to put them down like so. Kind of like them like that. So it's time to take the backing off. And I'm definitely using glue stick for this part because we will need to adjust it a little bit. Okay. I'm going to bring mine down like so. I'm not squished that down yet because I want to make sure that I've got this one where I want it as well. Oh my, did I put that on the wrong side? I sure dang did. No wonder it was not doing right. Okay, I made a boo-boo. Oh, okay, well, I did a boo-boo. I put it on the wrong, I put it on the slanted side. You need to put it on the straight side. But oh man. Okay, well, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to, aren't I? I've got hinges that I can use. So let me trace those and cut those out. Now, we know not to be on that end. You want it on the flat end, not the curved end, or the slanted end, rather. And I also should have known when I was putting it on and they were not the same size either. So now they're the same size. Now we can put them down where we want them to go. And again, this is actually optional. The doghouse gables are. If you don't want them on your house, you don't have to put them on your house. But I like them. I think they're cute. Okay, that looks cute to me. I kind of like that. So yeah, so now I can stick my hand in here and go ahead and give it a good smush down, because as you just saw, that one flew open. So that's another reason why we're waiting, because you would not be able to give it a lot of pressure if you didn't have your hand in there, you know. Alright, I think that looks fine. I think that's cute. You know, I mean, you can't see it the way that I'm seeing it because, you know, of course it's going to go in your house like that. So, it's cute. I think it's fine. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, dokie. So now, we're going to mat the roof bottom. What did I do with the roof bottom? Oh dear. Hold on. I didn't find it. Would you believe it took 5 minutes to find this thing? Ridiculous. Alright, I want to make sure that I've got it right. It doesn't really matter, but... Alright, so we're going to just wrap our bottom, just one side, because you're not going to see one side. And you really don't see this side, but when you take off the roof, you know, because you might want to put stuff inside your house. Like I put LED lights, battery LED lights in mine. Then, you know, you might want to have it pretty. I don't know. But anyway, I just decided to go ahead and mat this part as well. Isn't it cute? And then do the edges. Okay, so now we have our bottom. So now the next step says to mat the roof bottom by wrapping the roof bottom with pattern paper cardstock. So we did that. Mat the end cap gables from the mats on page 7. Alright, so I've done that. Oh, y'all look. Isn't it adorable? I love it. Okay, so now it says to mat the chimney by wrapping it with pattern paper. Carefully bending the scored places to assure that it doesn't tear. Okay, so just put the bottom out of the way. And again, you want to put the bent edges on the paper. Make sure this is down good right here. Sounds like it's coming up a little bit. So, all right, so it's going to be like this, right? Isn't that cute? Because it's going to go together like that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh, I am in love. I am in love. Okay. So we got step 10 done. Now let's move on to step 11, which is to use the hinges. You have two longer hinges and then you have two smaller hinges. And with the chimney, the way that it's together is like so, right? And you put it on the house like this. This is the top, the square part is. So we put the hinges on these parts. So the longer hinges go on the longer pieces and the smaller hinges go on the smaller pieces. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some score tape right here as well. And I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac because I want it to make sure it's going to stay together, because this is how the chimney stays together. So now what we want to do is remove our backing off of our tape. I'm going to do a little at a time. Kind of like if you were to do a pocket or an envelope, just so that it sticks down, you know. And so now I'm just going to take the backing off all of it. And I'm going to put my chimney on my roof, wherever I want it. And I think I'm wanting it, I think I want it more in the middle, like here. And again, the reason we didn't put the backing on is so that we can put our hands up in here so that we can secure our chimney on the roof with our bone folder. So we've got our chimney on our roof, wherever you would like it. Okay, then the next step says here's our chimney top, and we're going to go ahead and mat it. Now I'll put some Fabri-Tac. Alright, I'll bring and you're going to carefully just set this down inside the chimney. That might have went in a little too much. Uh-oh, come back. There we go. Oh. There. Alright. And with the score tape and the glue, it should stay nicely in there. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh. Alright, and now attach the roof to the roof base, so we're at the end. And again, it doesn't matter which way you put this on. I would think that that's the front, so I'm just going to put it on like this. Alright, this is the tricky part. Because you're not really going to be able to burnish it down very well, because there's no way to get your hands in. But just put it on as best as you can. And then there you go. There's your roof. Our roof is completed, y'all. And then, let me just go get the house. So here's our house. And the roof just fits directly on top of the house. Oh my gosh. See? Isn't that adorable? Oh my goodness. That is too precious. Too cute. Too cute. Too cute. Too cute. Oh my gosh. I love it. I will take another profile shot of it so you can see how it looks. Alright, so now what's left to do is to put the door on and the bay window, and our house will then be completed. Okay, please forgive all the craziness around it, but I wanted to give you a front view of the house before we put the bay window and the door frame on, and that's all we have left to do, and then our house is complete. Isn't it adorable? Oh, it's so cute.